My father made my 7-year-old finish a plate she had already been sick on, so I asked him to say it again with her mother in the room. We were staying at my father's house for 2 weeks while our kitchen was being redone. Every dinner was a performance he directed. Elbows off, sit up. You eat what's on the plate. That Tuesday he'd made a pork casserole, heavy and gray, and my daughter Maisie pushed it around with her fork. She's 7. She's small. She gets car sick, plane sick, sometimes just standing sick. I don't feel good, she whispered. You feel fine. Eat. I was doing dishes at the sink with my back to them. I heard her fork click against the plate 3 times, slow, and then I heard her gag. By the time I turned around, she'd been sick. Right there, into her own dinner. Her eyes were watering and her lip was shaking and she looked at me like she was in trouble. Oh honey, I said, and reached for a towel. Sit down, my father said to me. Not to her, to me. I stopped. He slid the plate back in front of her. Finish it. Dad. She wasted good food and now she's going to finish it. That's how she learns. He folded his arms. That's how I raised you. Maisie was crying without sound, the worst kind, and she picked her fork back up because she was 7 and he was a grown man telling her to. Put the fork down, baby, I said. She put it down. I looked at my father. I kept my voice very level. Say that again. I said she finishes her plate. No. Say the whole thing again. Say it slower. I pulled my phone out and set it face down on the counter like I was checking a text. I want to make sure I heard you right. I'm not repeating myself in my own house. You will, I said. You'll say it exactly like you said it. With her mother in the room. He laughed. Her mother standing right there. That's you, not her mother, I said. Yours. The laugh died on his face. Because here's the thing about my father. He built a whole kingdom out of a dinner table. He ruled us with a fork and a folded pair of arms for 18 years. And there was exactly one person on this earth who ruled him the same way. And she was sitting in the front room the entire time, in her chair by the window, because she lives with him now. My grandmother, his mother, 91 years old and sharp as a tack, and the only human being he has ever in his life been afraid of. I'd brought her over that afternoon. I'd told him she was napping. Mom's asleep, he said. Fast. Too fast. Mom, I called out. Are you asleep? No, came her voice from the front room, clear as a bell. I've been listening to every word. I have never watched a man shrink so fast. He went the color of the casserole. She came in slow, both hands on her walker, and she stopped in the doorway and she looked at the plate and she looked at Maisie's wet face and then she looked at her son. Gerald, she said, did you make that baby eat her own sick? Ma, she was being, did you make her eat it? Not a question the second time. He didn't answer. He couldn't. His mouth opened and nothing came out and I watched 68 years old fall off him like a coat until he was just a boy who'd been caught. Stand up, my grandmother said to him. He stood up. Take that plate to the trash, scrape it, wash it, and then you're going to sit down at this table and you're going to look at that child and tell her that her grandfather was wrong. Ma, in front of everybody. Her voice never rose. It didn't have to. You want to teach a lesson at this table, Gerald? Here's one. You don't get to be cruel to something smaller than you just because somebody once did it to you. I know who did it to you. I let it happen. I'm not letting it happen to her. He carried the plate to the trash. His hands were shaking. He scraped it and he washed it and he set it in the rack and then he sat down across from my daughter with his whole face gone soft and terrified and old. Maisie, he said, I'm sorry. Your grandpa was wrong. And my grandmother lowered herself into the chair beside my daughter and she picked up the little girl's hand and she looked at her son across the table with 60 years of something in her eyes and she said, I want to make sure she heard you right.